Just got back from Madison and the big FFRF convention this past weekend. A great time was had by all. Got to meet Mrs. Betty Bowers, America's best Christian. That's a trip up close, boy. Let me tell you what, they're pretty funny. And a really good comedian called Trey Crowder. Look him up. He's the liberal redneck, and it's a good bit. I feel like he stole it from me, but I know he didn't because he's never met me. But I always thought of myself as a highbrow redneck, kind of that lost demographic these days. You don't have to be from the city to understand the kind of social progress that is most often identified with liberal, effete city folk, and you can still enjoy the monster truck rally while you support your LGBT friends and their fight for equality, and your secular friends and their fight for equality. One of the things that got done at the FFRF, like they do every year, is they raffle off clean money. And if you don't know what clean money is, you're going to get to find out because I won me some clean money. Here's a $10 bill with our guy Hamilton on there. I'm not going to waste my shot. I'm not going to waste my shot. But Alexander Hamilton and his treasury that I think he probably started, wasn't it? Is that his bit, right? Right, Jason? I think Alexander Hamilton was the treasury guy. I haven't seen the play yet. All right, full disclosure. Notice what's missing. It's clean money. There's no "In God We Trust." Along the top there is where it would normally be, as we see it's on all the bills. Here's a $1 bill, and you can see where it's got "In God We Trust" kind of across the top of the back. And it is notably absent from this beautiful, crisp $10 bill from 1950. Not even that long ago, folks. I mean, think about it. You know, I can almost remember in my pre-embryonic memory 1950, when this Series C bill was issued, was still 7 years away from having the really silly words "In God We Trust" on the money, which, of course, as we know, was a reaction to the godless communist threat from the Cold War to the east. The Russians were the godless communists, and America was the country that embraced God and welcomed religion into the home and into, in fact, the public discussion. And that separated us from these heathens. And so it was a big push in Congress to put that shit on the money and make it the national motto when it wasn't before. It was a very appropriate national motto of "E pluribus unum," as we all know, from many one, which really reflects how the country began and is still working its way today as people from around the world try to come here, even as they are blocked and put into boxes on the borders. This is the great melting pot, the land that became one great secular nation out of many, many, many religious minorities and free thought folks and capitalists. Speaking of capitalists, the $10 bill with no "In God We Trust" on it reminded me that "In God We Trust" on the money anyway it doesn't make sense for a couple of reasons. Of course, we all know that some of us don't trust in God, so it's really divisive. The term does not represent America. It only represents some of America. But really, why would they put that on the money? Because we all know that America doesn't value God. They just talk about it. What they value is money. The money should say, "In money we trust. In commerce we trust. In capitalism we trust." Because that's what it's all about. Even the people who purport to promote religion for religion's sake and for the good of all, they're really just about keeping your asses down. They know that if you stay religious, less educated, and more believing of the good that they have in mind for you, the easier they can to keep you the little peg in your little hole, in your little job, without questioning their position in society and the money that they reap from keeping you down. So open your minds, get educated, get "In God We Trust" off the fucking money, and let's write your congressman today and suggest that we put "In money we trust," or "In the goddamn greenback dollar we trust." That's what we trust in. That kills me about this. Can you really see this on there, Jason? I don't know. Can you see it? The Treasury building is it's like this gorgeous neoclassic building or whatever design it's made in, but it's got like one car on the street. It's like Washington D.C., right? It's got like one 1928 Ford Model T or something on the street, and like 5 pedestrians. It looks like a scene from like the original Monopoly game or something. It's like if this was today, there would be like a traffic accident, a helicopter, wires everywhere, cameras, a mugging, graffiti, what else? But here we have a beautiful, relaxing almost engraving of the treasury with no "In God We Trust" on it. That's what I got for you today, folks. Go for that clean money. Clean money. None of us trust God.